Pop Squat. Coming at ya. Hey, everybody. I had some requests for this recently, and then I was remembering correctly. I should just go with it when I think it. Hamlin sent in some money to get me to react to Sematary and Ghost Mountain and the song Cleaver Valley. This was actually open on my computer already, so I knew I was going to be getting to it sometime soon. Although I say that knowing I also have tabs open on my computer that have been there for months. But I was very curious about this because people said you gotta listen to this particular song, because I think the comment was that it really delved into sort of the mystic side of things, or something like that. I think that was what I had said it would be kind of cool to hear more of. And let's give this a listen. It's from 2020. Again, Sematary and Ghost Mountain, produced by Sematary, and it is called Cleaver Valley. Don't know how long it is because I covered it up, but it was about 4 minutes.
Real trap shit.
4:22. So I assume that reference in the beginning was real trap shit, and was that referring to yes, probably like trap shooting is my guess, right? Hey, I'm from the Midwest. What do you know?
Real trap shit. DJ Sorrow.
Oh, see, even that is so cool and interesting, because it's almost like you're listening to a radio station in some place that doesn't really exist, and you hear the end of an ad, you just tuned in, something, 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 real trap shit, and then there's a little bit of a break with some music playing, and a DJ Sorrow promo comes on the radio and starts playing, and there's the crying and stuff like that, which would be totally normal for an old radio station personality to do if they had a show that they were putting on. That's what comes to mind with this, and I have no idea if that's their intention or if DJ Sorrow is somebody that they're like mentioning for some reason, but not the producer, not associated as far as I know. So that's why I think all of that, and what a cool way to approach a song. So I'm really curious about what comes next.
Well, I'm coming down the road in my hearse. Feel the hate come from the trees and the birds. In Cleaver Valley, eyes are watching in the earth. Your little car got no power in my woods.
Nice.
Cleaver.
Goddamn, DJ Sorrow. Run that shit back.
Well, I'm coming down the road in my hearse. Feel the hate come from the trees and the birds. In Cleaver Valley, eyes are watching in the earth. Your little car got no power in my woods. Cleaver Valley, Cleaver Valley. Feel the hate come from the deer and the bees. Cleaver Valley, Cleaver Valley. Where the dead dance all among the trees. I got bone shine sticks upon my wall. We gon' watch the world burn come the fall. Oh,
So frickin' cool, amazing, creative, fun, funny, twisted, horror inspired. It's so cool because they basically just even the words they use. Like, can you imagine going through this place called Cleaver Valley and you can feel the hate coming from the trees and the birds and the deer and the bees? Like, how horrible must that place be to have that feeling, and that you can feel it as you're just moving through it, driving in your hearse. And what that reminds me of is, God, it was a terrible Jeepers Creepers I saw. I don't even know why I watched it. I hate horror movies. But it was funny enough that I actually watched the whole thing. And in the beginning, the bad guy, I don't even remember whatever the hell was going on there, drove by the characters and was like terrorizing them in his car, and it said, beating you on his license plate, but it was actually be eating you. Twist. And God, just, it kind of reminds me of that. It kind of reminds me of Cabin in the Woods, especially this beginning that starts off DJ Sorrow, and he goes through that whole verse, and then he says, and then it explodes, right? He gets to Cleaver, and it goes, and they say, God damn, DJ Sorrow, run that shit back. That reminds me of Cabin in the Woods, where they could just, oh, we're just going to undo this, and we're going to reset for the next people to come in. And that's basically like the idea I got from them doing that, because the world didn't actually end, right? That's something else was going on there, or whatever, but I don't feel like it was part of the, I don't think it was on purpose. No, that's not true. What am I trying to say? I don't think that explosion is meant to be something that the DJ just interjected and then decided to restart the song. I think it is instead part of the story of the song, and yep, at the end of this verse, the world was destroyed, but then they ran it back and they started playing a new version of this universe that has more of the song in it, quote unquote. I hope that makes any amount of sense, because that is everything that's going through my head right now. And it's so cool. And the language they use is also great. Bone chimes, sticks upon my wall, gonna watch the world burn come the fall. And again, the fall has the meaning of either in the autumn or at the fall of creation, the fall of mankind. We're just gonna watch the world burn. So many great twists and turns in this. I'm loving it.
October come the fall. October country where the river runneth red. Fireside singing hymns of the dead. Cleaver Valley, Cleaver Valley.
And just the idea of Cleaver Valley is a place where people don't sit around the fire and sing fun songs. They sing hymns to the dead. Like, I want these guys to write a horror movie or TV show or something, because so it would be amazing. It would be just absolutely like a Cleaver Valley horror anthology TV show. I would be there for.
Feel the hate come from the deer and the bees. Cleaver Valley, where the dead dance all among the trees. Smoky parasites are all gonna burn.
Nice.
Find us in the woods, walking till it hurts. You know my cut
Yeah, you don't go for hikes in Cleaver Valley. You walk until it hurts.
is my only fucking friend. I know he'll stay true to me till the end. Cleaver Valley, feel the hate come from the deer and the bees. Cleaver Valley, where the dead dance all among the trees. What's real, I don't know anymore.
crazy because this is starting to round back around to country music. And that is nuts. Like I hear folk music in this, right? But we're deep into experimental underground hip hop, and yet it's folksy. How weird is that?
Come knocking at your door. The dark figures come approaching in the mist. Say goodbye to the 100-acre wrist. Sing it with me.
And this distortion makes it sound like things are intensifying, right? Like scanners level, shaking your head, making you nervous, getting you all worked up.
DJ Sorrow.
And then you have passed out of Cleaver Valley. What a fantastic flippin' song. Dear God. And rap country are the tags. What did I say? I would go further than saying country. I think this is rap folk. That's nuts. That's nuts. That's nuts. These guys are geniuses. How fucking cool is that? How cool is that? How cool is it to go from country, no, to go from blues to country to folk to rap and hip hop? Probably folk to rap. You could make a pretty strong argument. It's about telling stories from a certain people's perspective, talking about their woes and what they have to deal with. Rap turns to hip hop. Hip hop starts to combine everything into this crazy mishmash. And after enough time, it goes from its urban origins, is now spread out to the countryside and starts to wrap country back into it. So cool. So cool. I want a Cleaver Valley TV show produced in the same way, but with maybe better lighting and sound, and actually a strong overarching storyline similar to the X-Files or Twin Peaks. Somebody moves into Cleaver Valley or is trying to pass through. Maybe it's every week somebody's trying to pass through Cleaver Valley, and every week they go missing, and maybe that turns into an overarching story that all these missing people, or some of them, find each other, and then they resolve what's going on for that season of Cleaver Valley and the Big Bat. Like, it writes itself, right? Or maybe I should rate it. What a, God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm downloading this. These guys, I just think it's fantastic. So yeah, Hamlin, thanks, man. Checking out. Oh, I didn't say Papa Squat. Papa Squat checking out. And yeah, believe me, a lot of people suggested this, and I was going to get to it, but Hamlin made it today, so he gets the credit. Man, that's awesome. This is absolutely going on my favorites just because of all the ideas it just generates in me and the feeling it gives me. So fantastic. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Adios.